Good evening, I'm Mark Bailey.
And I'm Lori Nixon. Up next, a woman whose house was damaged in our last big storm a month ago.
Her insurance company still hasn't come through, so she's been living in a hotel.
Keep it here, the news is next.
30 years ago, a crime was committed.
Sam Cahill is my grandfather.
But the truth is still at large.
Talk to me, Sam.
Chris O'Donnell, Gene Hackman.
We have no idea what you're doing.
The Chamber, rated R. Starts Friday, October 11th.
Can MasterCard help stop a thief? The answer lies in the tamper-resistant panel that MasterCard pioneered. It makes a stolen credit card practically useless. And your MasterCard even more secure. MasterCard, it's smart money.
Now it's time to check in with Nightline. Forrest Sawyer, sitting in for Ted Koppel, has a preview of tonight's program.
Tonight on Nightline, Iraq says it has stopped targeting U.S. planes. But with American stealth fighters and aircraft carriers moving to the Gulf, will that be enough to stop plans for a major U.S. strike against Saddam? The story tonight.
Forrest will also be hosting the season premiere of Turning Point next week. Everest, Mountain Without Mercy. For the first time, the real story of what happened when Americans were trapped on top of the world. That's Turning Point with Forrest Sawyer next Thursday night at 10, 9 Central. Well, that is 2020 for tonight. We thank you for joining us.
Remember, we're in touch, so you be in touch, and I hope you will be in touch with me this weekend for our Barbara Walters special, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, with Demi Moore, Sandra Bullock, and a no-holds-barred, astounding interview with rock star Courtney Love as she talks about her role in her husband Kurt Cobain's suicide.
We'll be watching us 8 p.m. or 7 Central on Sunday.
Right.
Well, I'm Hugh Downs.
I'm Barbara Walters for all of us. Have a good weekend. Good night.
2020 is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Tragedy on Everest, the real story you won't see anywhere else. Forrest Sawyer, Turning Point season premiere next Thursday.
You're watching KNXV TV, Phoenix. Now, the Emmy Award-winning News 15. It's 10 o'clock.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Lori Nixon in for Daria Folsom.
And I'm Mark Bailey. The valley got drenched tonight as thunderstorms packing big winds and heavy rain rolled through the valley. The storm hit hardest in Tempe near McClintock and Broadway earlier this evening. It hit motorists making their way home from work unexpectedly with sheets of water coming down on cars, creating some dangerous driving conditions. And I think it probably also caught this guy on the bike a bit by surprise. He got drenched on his way home. The thunder and rain later moved northeast into the Roosevelt Lake area. And Ed will have more on the storms and your weekend a little later.
Though tonight's storm did no major damage, it had one woman from Glendale especially on edge. On August 14th, her home and those of her neighbors near 51st Avenue and Bell Roads were nearly destroyed by a storm that packed 70-mile-an-hour winds. That was a month ago, and she's still waiting for her insurance company to come through. News 15's Bill Spencer reports.
It rained everywhere. I mean, rain was pouring everywhere. It was pouring through my fan, it was pouring through my sliding glass door here, and just everything was wet.
Chances are Kathy Cottrell has a much more vivid memory of the storm that hit Northwest Phoenix August 14th than you do. That night, the sky was ablaze with thousands of lightning strikes. There was stinging rain and hail, and powerful winds lashed out at the valley. Kathy's house lay directly in the storm's path. Kathy remembers the roof being torn off, and she remembers the call she made to her insurance agent.
I was standing on the phone at that time talking to my claims adjuster, telling him, you know, how bad it was, that I was going to have to leave. He said, "Are you sure you have to leave?" And about that time, the ceiling hit me in the head.
That was a month ago, and that was just the beginning of Kathy's nightmare. You see, her house is still in a shambles, still ripped to shreds. Because with all the storm damage, building contractors have been working so hard and are so busy, they haven't been able to get to Kathy's house. She's been living out of hotels this entire time.
I appreciate your help, you know that.
That means in addition to the $20,000 damage that was done to Kathy's house, she and her daughter Chelsea and her son Chuck have also had to shell out $2,500 in hotel bills. They've been living off almost constant fast food.
Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's.
For a month straight?
Yes. It's old.
There's still so much repair work to be done at this Glendale home. it could be weeks before Kathy and her kids can return here. In the meantime, on nights like this one, she lives with the devastating fear that another monsoon storm will come along and wipe out what little she has left.
Sit up and watch, and then after the storm's over, I come home to see if there's any more damage. So it's awful. It's a nightmare. It's a day nightmare.
With photographer Bill Miley, Bill Spencer, News 15.
All right, in other news now, it appeared tensions between Iraq and the U.S. were easing a bit today, but tonight the crisis seems as volatile as ever.
Saddam Hussein's government has agreed to stop shooting at American planes, but threatened to start firing again if the planes don't stop flying over Iraq. News 15's Jay Avila is here now to explain the situation. Jay?
Well, Mark and Lori, today U.S. officials sounded like they were almost daring Iraq to take another shot at American jets, which are still patrolling an expanded no-fly zone over that country. The U.S. enlarged it a couple of weeks ago to keep Iraq from attacking the Kurds. Now the Pentagon is sending a larger military force to make sure Iraq respects the new boundaries.
More strength and stealth is on the way to the Persian Gulf. Hours after American stealth bombers arrived in the region, Iraq seemed to back down. Saddam Hussein's Revolution Command Council said it would halt attacks on U.S. aircraft. But state-run television declared the United States had no right to enforce the no-fly zone and promised retaliation if warplanes continued to fly missions over the area. The White House did not seem impressed or threatened.
The president himself has said it's actions that speak louder than words, and we'll be looking at actions, not statements from Baghdad.
The 8 stealth bombers are powerful weapons of intimidation. During the Gulf War, they slipped undetected through Iraqi radar to make precision strikes. They can cause a lot more damage than the cruise missiles the U.S. has been using to hit Iraq. And not one stealth was shot down during the Gulf War, an important factor, since the last thing President Clinton wants now is American pilots killed or held captive.
We're not invincible, and we're not invisible. We're good at what we do, and we fly a good machine that does something very, very well.
The Pentagon is also sending in another 18 fighter jets to help protect the no-fly zone. A second U.S. aircraft carrier is on its way to the Gulf. And in the latest move, 5,000 soldiers from Fort Hood in Texas will leave for the Gulf this weekend to join the 19,000 troops already in the region.
We're going to keep him guessing because he doesn't deserve to have any forewarning from the United States, and he'll just have to wonder about what the United States has in store.
The American presence in the Middle East is still small compared to the more than 500,000 troops assembled during the Gulf War. Today, former President George Bush said he's annoyed when people say he should have sent those troops in to finish Saddam. Bush called those critics Monday morning quarterbacks. Mark, Lori.
All right, thank you, Jay.
All right, thank you, Jay. After 3 days of deliberations, it's a hung jury for those deciding the fate of 73-year-old Jean Dooley. Dooley is the woman accused of going on a shooting spree at Mesa's Valley Lutheran Hospital last year, hurting 2 people. She was charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault. Her defense was that her actions were the result of the medication she was on. A new trial is set for November.
Police are trying to figure out who put a bomb outside the Gila River Casino this morning and why. The bomb was found under this car by a casino employee who was picking up trash. About 1,000 gamblers and employees were evacuated to another building while the bomb squad removed the deadly device. Police say it was filled with enough shrapnel to kill someone. The Phoenix woman who owns the car watched as it was blown up by police.
Set it off out there, and it sounded like not a big bomb, but like blasting caps or something to that effect. It wasn't a big, huge boom, but it was under my car, and I'd like to find the guy that put it there.
Police are trying to figure out if the bomber knew the woman or if her car was picked at random. Investigators are also looking at surveillance video from the casino's parking lot, hoping to see who may have planted that bomb.
He was just here, but President Clinton is making plans for a return visit to Arizona. Coincidentally, on the same day, rival Bob Dole will be here. Last Wednesday, Mr. Clinton was in Sun City and also visited Barry Goldwater, who is recovering from a mild stroke. Clinton campaign aides say the president will visit the Grand Canyon next Wednesday. Republican candidate Bob Dole will also hold a rally on Wednesday at Sky Harbor Airport.
Well, although some of you may think it's a little early, to our Jewish viewers, tonight we want to say Good Yontiv. Happy New Year. Jews around the world are celebrating the eve of the new year. I hope I got that right. Here in the Valley, you're looking at the family of Bonnie Morris, the director of education at Temple Soel, celebrating the holiday tonight with her family.
An elderly Tucson man loses his life in this trailer because he couldn't open his front door.
And is America destined to be a nation of fat people? The Brits think so.
All of the watches and warnings have expired. We'll see if that means an end to the monsoon in just a few minutes.
And later, a miraculous surgery for two twins joined at the head. That story coming up later on News 15 at 10.
Mark Bailey and Lori Nixon with these stories and much more coming up.
My husband and I both work, and next year we will have 2 children in college, and it will be very hard for us to put them through, even with the 2 incomes.
Working families are struggling, but Congressman J.D. Hayworth voted with Newt Gingrich to cut college loans while giving tax breaks to the wealthy. He even wants to eliminate the Department of Education. Congress will vote again on the budget. Tell Hayworth, don't write off our children's future.
Tell him his priorities are all wrong.
Here are tonight's winning Fantasy 5 numbers.
I'm telling you, it's a salad. See? Vegetables.
It's a sandwich. Look, pita bread.
Wendy's delicious new fresh stuffed pitas have stirred up quite a controversy.
It's fresh like a salad.
We stuff big soft pitas with fresh vegetables and natural cheese.
But this one's filled with chicken and I pick it up like a sandwich.
There's even 2 filled with tender chunks of chicken breast like our Garden Ranch chicken pita.
Well, I ate it and I don't feel guilty.
Dave, can you settle this? Well, it's fresh like a salad and filling like a sandwich.
See, that's why he's the boss.
Pick up a Wendy's fresh stuffed pita today.
Hi, Sally.
Ned, I won't be seeing you anymore.
Why? Was it something I did?
No, it's not you. It's me. I got a new Mirage.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Mirage sedan. Performance you'll love. Reliability your mechanic won't.
Well, what's your sister driving these days?
The new 1997 Mirage sedan from Mitsubishi, built for living.
A Tucson man dies overnight in his mobile home while struggling to unlock his door. 64-year-old Olin McKinnon died in this trailer. The door had a double-cylinder deadbolt lock similar to these. They require a key to unlock from both sides. Flames blocked McKinnon's back door as well, but firefighters say McKinnon or anyone living in a mobile home should have had more warning.
Make sure you have a working smoke detector, at least one, possibly 2, one at each end of the trailer, so if there is a fire, you get an early warning that there is smoke in the structure.
Now, investigators say the fire was caused by a short circuit in an electrical outlet.
A Scottsdale couple is found shot to death in bed in what police say is probably a case of murder-suicide. It happened last night in southwest Scottsdale near 64th Street and McDowell. Police believe 57-year-old Patricia Hector shot her 63-year-old husband Jack, then turned the gun on herself. Police found no signs of forced entry at the home, so they do think that the Hectors were the only ones involved. The deaths have taken the neighborhood by surprise.
Well, it was kind of nerve-wracking.
We were shocked.
We've
known, real shocked.
We've known them for many, many years. And as far as we know, there's never been any kind of trouble or anything down there.
Family members told investigators that Patricia Hector had been depressed in recent months.
Here's your chance to ask questions about that shipment of contaminated dirt being dumped at a landfill outside of Phoenix. The Environmental Protection Agency has scheduled a public meeting next Wednesday to answer any questions you may have. It starts at 7 p.m. at Maricopa School. State officials will also be there. Waste Management is handling 80,000 tons of DDT-laced dirt from San Francisco. It started arriving last week. California considers the dirt toxic waste, but it's not classified that way under Arizona law. Well, are there more storms headed to the valley? Ed Phillips is next with the latest.
And it was a scary ride for folks aboard this 747. We'll tell you why the plane had to abort a takeoff. But first, here's a look at Friday's record high closing on Wall Street.
It's time for the Macy's White Flower Sale. Through today and tomorrow only. Save 20 to 50% store-wide. Get here quick while the savings are in full bloom. Macy's White Flower Sale. Macy's, everything you love about shopping.
The best of everything. Scottsdale Fashion Square.
Buyer beware. Some things aren't always what they appear to be. But not with Toyota's new certified used vehicles, where select previously driven vehicles are put through a comprehensive 128-point inspection, then backed with a 6-year, 100,000-mile warranty and 24-hour roadside assistance. So with Toyota's certified used vehicles, what you see is really what you get. A great car. Toyota certified used vehicles. The best new cars make the best used cars.
Only Montgomery Ward carries all top 5 mattress brands. Sealy, Serta, Spring Air, Simmons, and Stearns & Foster. Some starting as low as $39 every day.
Great brands at a great price at Montgomery Ward.
Get on the road to great savings at Auto Express Montgomery Ward. Get any size RTX 30 passenger radial tires, 4 for just $99. So what are you waiting for?
Great brands at a great price at Montgomery Ward.
Gangster rapper Tupac Shakur is dead tonight at just 25 years old. Shakur died this afternoon after being shot last week in Las Vegas. Shakur was riding in a car with a record company executive when he was hit 4 times in a drive-by shooting. The rapper has sold 20 million albums, but had a history of trouble with the law. He was arrested repeatedly in recent years and served time for sexual abuse, but was appealing that conviction.
Prosecutors want Unabomber suspect Ted Kaczynski to stand trial on March 31st. That's the date filed in court papers in Sacramento today, but the defense says March is unrealistic because they've only had since June to prepare. Kaczynski was arrested in April. Still no word if the government will seek the death penalty.
22 people are injured when a Japanese airliner aborted takeoff. The 747-400 was bound for Frankfurt, Germany from the Narita airport when the pilot suddenly stopped the plane after noticing problems with one of the engines. The injured were hurt trying to evacuate the aircraft using the plane's emergency chute slides. Investigators say the plane's tires ruptured when the plane skidded to a halt. None of the passengers' injuries were life-threatening.
Well, meteorologist Ed Phillips warned us there was a little unstable air headed our way. He wasn't overstating that by any stretch of the imagination. Ed?
Understating, if anything. It turned out to be a rough night around the state and the valley. We do have some clouds lingering out to the west of us, but as you can see, the bright clouds indicating where the thunderstorms are. But there's always a rainbow at the end of a storm like this, and we caught it tonight, a beautiful rainbow. In fact, if you look very carefully toward the top of your screen, I don't know if the camera quite picked it up, it was actually a full double rainbow. It was really, really gorgeous. So we had some damage to report to you from earlier on tonight as well. Some damage reports include in Ahwatukee, some wind damage, some trees blown down there. Also 3/4-inch diameter hail, some flash flooding up on Roosevelt Lake. Apparently washed a motorhome, a jet ski, and a Suburban into Roosevelt Lake because of the very heavy rains up there. Right now, we'll show you what's left, though, on our radar screen. This is just some cloud cover out to the west of us. Just a few spotty thunderstorms up in the northeastern corner of our state, and there are no watches or warnings. The final one ended about 9:35 this evening. humidity. So I think we can pull the plug on the thunderstorms for tonight. Still some lightning, though, up in the central mountains of our state. They are going to continue, the thunderstorms will continue for another couple of hours, then they should be dying out. As you can see, nothing out to the west of me as far as lightning strikes are concerned. So that's the drier air starting to move in. That means lower humidity, maybe as soon as tomorrow afternoon, but almost for sure as we head into Sunday. Highs today, only Yuma made 100 with 102. 67 is all they could muster in Flagstaff. We were 96. Remember, the normal high is about 99. Current temperatures looking like this right now around the state, all the way down to 40 in Flagstaff with the showers and thunderstorms up there. We've dipped to 75. And we could very well, not tonight, but tomorrow night, see some valley areas well down into the 60s, especially if that dry air does really get into our state. Now, of course, we're still concerned about the hurricanes. Some good news with the hurricane in the east. Hortense is going to continue to move straight to the north-northeast. Looks as if it will miss the entire mainland of the U.S. Not true with Hurricane Fausto. The big glob of moisture, look here in the lower left part of your screen, you can see some of that may be drawn into far southeastern Arizona, but remember the dry air is advancing in, so it's sort of a race to see if it can shove it over into New Mexico or into Texas. And also Hurricane Fausto still packing 80-mile-per-hour winds as it's moved across the Sea of Cortez, now moving into the mainland of Mexico. Temperatures now around the nation look like this right now. Pocket of 40s up in Minnesota, 80s in Florida, and of course nice and mild out here, but we'll be seeing temperatures headed down as we dry the air out. 75 right now, humidity is 73%, dew point of 66, winds from the east at 13. Your evaporative cooler in the morning, 65-degree air is what it should put out, and a comfortable 73-degree air in the afternoon. The rest of tonight will be partly cloudy, low temperature of 72 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny to partly sunny, high temperature of about 90. And then for the next 5 days, the monsoon broken and high temperatures in maybe the upper 90s by the early part of next week. We ended up with 70 so far monsoon days. The normal is 56, so we had a full 2 weeks of extra monsoon. That's why everybody's a little grumpy, I think.
Yeah, I think so. All right, fair enough. Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Well, a role reversal is taking place every day in Arizona homes and thousands of others around this country.
Up next, find out how children of the elderly are now caring for their parents and a new way that many are finding to make the job easier. But first, here's a look at tonight's roadblocks.
It'll be a tough drive around Sun Devil Stadium tomorrow. Expect delays, restrictions, and heavy traffic before and after the ASU game on Broadway, University, Apache, the Rio Salado, and the 202 east and westbound. Your north and southbound traffic jams around Sun Devil Stadium will be on Priest Drive, Mill Avenue, Rural and Scottsdale Road, along with McClintock. I'm Bill Henderson for News 15.
It's the 15-hour sale this Saturday at Robinson's May, plus a special preview sale day on Friday. Shop both days and save 25 to 50% throughout every Robinson's May store. You'll find great savings on new fall fashions for the entire family, plus new looks for your home. Buy now, no payment till February. It's the 15-hour sale this Saturday, plus a special preview sale day on Friday. Shop Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. The 15-hour sale at Robinson's May.
The award, 1996 4x4 of the Year. But you don't get it unless you earn it. And once again, Jeep Grand Cherokee did. But with all of Grand Cherokee's major new improvements, was it really any surprise? Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now get up to $1150 in option values. This is your year for the award-winning 4x4 of the Year.
Need new tires in a hurry? At Discount Tire Company, we move fast, except when it comes to closing our doors. Slide in for a new set of Michelin at Discount Tire Company.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Stop by this week for a great deal on Michelin tires. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Now at McDonald's, you can get a Quarter Pounder with cheese or a sausage biscuit with egg for just 99 cents each. And it's as easy as zipping in and zipping out.
I can almost taste it.
Why is the Home Depot so huge?
You need all that stuff in there because there's so many ideas.
Anything and everything that can go into, on, or around your house, we carry at the Home Depot.
It's like a one-stop shop. We give people choices.
You can build your whole house by coming to our store. Your whole house.
The Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning. Dramatically change the look of your bathroom with fixtures from American Standard. They're at a guaranteed low price every day at the Home Depot.
Obesity is increasing at an epidemic pace around the world. That's what health experts in London are saying. A group calling itself the Association for the Study of Obesity found that since 1980, the proportion of adults in Britain who are obese has doubled. Now, in the United States, which has the highest percentage of obesity in the world, 100% of the population will be obese by the year 2230, according to those folks anyway, if the current trends continue.
Well, doctors in Utah have successfully separated a pair of conjoined twins. Doris and Bessie Gonzalez have been joined at the tops of their heads. Doctors separated the skulls and blood vessels of the girls. They're both in stable condition tonight. The twins are still undergoing skin grafts and face years of surgery to fix their skulls. The girls are from Honduras. Well, don't be surprised to look up one day and see an operating room pass you on the freeway. Inside this 18-wheeler is the world's first mobile surgery center. The company Mobile Medical developed it as a way to bring the best care at the least cost to rural areas, the military, prisons, even into disaster zones.
This is a great disaster relief facility where you take care closer to the environment, such as an Oklahoma City bombing or an earthquake type situation. Literally, you can go on site and help save lives.
The truck hydraulically expands 3 times in size. It includes an operating room, recovery area, nurses station, and more. Mobile Medical says almost every kind of surgery can be done in that truck.
It's one of the hardest decisions adult children have to make, how to care for their aging parents.
Well, Mark, for some, the only choice is a nursing home, while others sacrifice their own happiness in order to take care of their parents around the clock. But tonight, a possible alternative, adult daycare centers.
I made a promise to my parents that I would take care of them as long as I physically could, and I'm trying very hard to hold up to that promise.
Barb Sims is among a growing number of working Americans taking care of their aging parents. The job can be taxing, but instead of placing them in costly nursing homes, adult daycare centers are becoming a valuable alternative.
Got that right there. See that?
I can't tell you how much this brings to a community because it frees up caregivers.
Sims enrolled both her parents at the Ahwatukee Foothills Adult Day Health Care Center. It frees up her day while her parents are provided with a host of activities and a full-time nurse. The cost, $7 an hour.
We have verbal stimulation, we have music stimulation, we have craft stimulations.
Adult daycare was a growing trend in the 90s, especially as America continues to gray. But since there is only one center operating in Ahwatukee, which also serves Gilbert and Chandler, operators have been forced to keep the facility open 5 days a week rather than just 3.
All right, G48.
Novella Macmillan is a regular here since the center opened last year. At 96 years old, this retired librarian has found a place to meet new friends and keep her mind sharp.
I can't spend the whole time sleeping. I could if I wanted to. Because right now I can fall over down, go dead asleep.
And you're going to hit it back across the table.
The center, which is run by a nonprofit foundation, is open 10 hours a day. Interest is so high, workers expect to expand in the near future.
Many of the people stay in daycare until their Lord calls them home because they can stay here.
Now, we decided to profile just one of several daycare centers around the valley. Some insurance companies may cover the costs, others don't. How big a trend is this? Well, today, about 10% of workers are responsible for an older relative. But by the year 2020, that number is expected to jump to 33%.
That's a big responsibility for people.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Sure. All right, thanks, Lori. All right, when we come back, what's Valley boxer Michael Carbajal doing in Iowa tonight?
Beating the daylights out of his latest opponent, Brad Steinke, has that in sports next. Stay with us.
Hey, how much do you think your boss makes? $100,000? $200,000? More? Wouldn't you rather be the boss?
Then come to the Be Your Own Boss Expo. See the latest franchises, home businesses, free seminars, part-time opportunities, and more.
I never dreamed I could be living like this. It's such a relief to have extra money.
Now I have time to spend with my family.
There's no better job security than being your own boss.
Now I work for me.
You'll find it all this weekend at the Phoenix Civic Plaza. That's the Phoenix Civic Plaza.
It's terrific.
Hey, might want to know that Avco Foods is having a really big half-price green plant sale.
Yeah, so whether you want a Definium or a Clean Palm, you can...
Different Bacchia.
Okay, Pathos or a Pike?
Both those.
Whatever they're called, they're half price, they're at Avco Foods, and they're on sale.
Correct.
Plus, this week, USDA Grade A Foster Farms chicken breasts are 99 cents a pound. Red seedless grapes only 69 cents a pound.
They're green, they're beautiful, they're half off.
And after Sunday, they are gone.
Yeah, Avco Foods, Arizona's way to save.
Now through Saturday at Circuit City, you'll get this color inkjet printer free when you buy any computer with a 133 to 200 megahertz processor. They're the fastest, most powerful computers around. And when you buy one at Circuit City, you'll get this color inkjet printer absolutely free. We have IBM, Compaq, NEC, and Packard Bell at guaranteed low prices. And you'll take home a free color inkjet printer when you buy any of these top brand computers with a 133 to 200 megahertz processor. Now's the best time to save at Circuit City. You can't find a lower price. We guarantee it.
Estee Lauder's remarkable new 100%. 100% time-release moisturizer. Aquasphere. Marine collagen. With biomineral water. 70 vital minerals. Your skin will never feel thirsty again. Designed for Fall 96, a new collection of fashion colors. Free with any 1750 Estee Lauder purchase.
Through September 28th at Robinson's May.
Out here, you have to be big to get noticed. That's why Arby's created our big 2-for-2 time. 2 famous Arby's roast beef sandwiches or 2 delicious barbecues for just $2. That's all the flavor of Arby's slow roasted beef or authentic barbecue. And now get your choice of 2 for $2. Arby's, taste why it's better out here. And try Arby's new home-style fries. So good they even beat McDonald's in a national taste test.
All right, Brad Steinke in with sports, and this fight actually got out of the first round.
Yeah, 8 rounds wasn't even pay-per-view. The Little Hands of Stone back in business tonight. Michael Carbajal taking his IBF junior flyweight title up against Julio Coronel. They rumbled in Des Moines, Iowa, of all places, not exactly the mecca of the fight game. Carbajal all over Coronel, the leather flying knockdowns in round 1, round 2, round 6, and the final blow came in the 8th. Michael is still the champ as he improves to 42-2 with 27 knockouts.
He was a tough fighter, and you know, I always expect that. You can't look at the way the records are, nothing, because it's deceiving. And there's tough fighters all over the world.
International golf today. Round 1 of the President's Cup. Team USA against the best of the world. And Corey Pavin teamed up with Phil Mickelson, and this is a golf shot. The iron on 7, sticks it as it rolls and drops for the eagle. Nice shot. Then the lefty took over, sends home the birdie, and the U.S. leading 7.5 to 2.5, only 16 points needed for the victory. To the Quad City Open, Tiger Woods, his 3rd tournament as a pro, and he has the lead thanks to shots like this. Uses the 3-wood, and it is good. After 2, Tiger is tops at 7 under, 133. Well, being 7'6" is great when you're playing basketball. When golf is the game, it's another story. Today, the Nets' big guy, Sean Bradley, at the Camelback Golf Club, helping to raise money for the Children's Hospital. Well, you and I go back a few years. I was going to say I've known you since you were small, but I don't think you've ever been small. How's it going?
It's going really good, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've known each other a little while, since back in the good old days at Emory High School.
Now, you played some golf in high school. I mean, this is not a strange thing for you. You played some baseball and some golf, real good athlete.
Actually, I got to tell you, golf in Emory County High School was the first year that golf was a part of the school. It was a school sport. And there was 8 positions to be filled out. They wouldn't let me play football, so I tried out for the golf team. And luckily enough, there was only 6 people that tried out, so I made it.
Let's talk about your clubs. Here's a look. What is the length on this puppy? Because
it's very long. Very long. I don't know. It's a 3-wood, and my driver's 53 inches, so my 3-wood's probably 51. 51 inches long. So it's out there.
And when you started, what were you playing with? What kind of clubs? I mean, were they standard clubs? Because that would be tough.
They were standard rental clubs right from the pro shop, you know. No, that's what I used, and so I just bent over and made the best with what I could and just had some fun. That's what I try to do, is have some fun.
Guys got a nice swing. No more talking. It is time for the Sun Devils to get after it tomorrow night at home against the Eagles from North Texas. Meantime, in high school football, Mesa throwing down with top-ranked Horizon, but the Jackrabbits ran away with it early. That's Mike Ross breaking it big, an 80-yard touchdown run, and they win it by the score of 28-20. And on Sunday, the Cards at the Patriots. Tomorrow on 15 Sports, we'll have a preview from New England. But up next, the scores from the night that was.
Have a great weekend.
We've already shown you that the Lincoln Mark 8 can do the limbo at 55 miles per hour, and that the Lincoln Continental can handle a Ming vase at every turn, and that the Lincoln Town Car excelled in a test of value. Now we're going to attempt a maneuver we think no other car company would try. All three at the same low rate of $4.99 a month. A word of caution to other luxury car dealers. Do not try this in your showrooms. Unless, of course, you're an Arizona Lincoln dealer.
Monday at 10 on News 15.
In this dry desert heat, in this beautiful year-round climate, what is the hottest up-and-coming new sport? Hockey. I'm Brad Steinke, News 15 Sports, and we're really ahead of the game on this one. Now that the Phoenix Coyotes are playing, what happened in other cities with new hockey teams is happening here. Hockey and inline skating, you know, rollerblading, are really taking off. So what's in store for us here in the Valley?
Watch News 15 Monday at 10. No chit-chat, more news.
It's never been your style to live like anyone else, so why start now? The American Dimensions collection from Ethan Allen. Eclectic and most agreeably priced for people who really love to live at home. Right now, there's a sale going on at your local Ethan Allen.
1996. Stealth fighters deploy in Kuwait. An aircraft carrier battle group steams to the Gulf. 5,000 Army troops on their way to Kuwait. Forces that could signal the most punishing strike yet, when suddenly Iraq appears to back down.
Well, they're welcome words, but our main concern here, of course, is to say pilot, and that depends not on his words, but on his actions, so we will have to see what he does.
Has Saddam Hussein blinked, or is he just up to old tricks?
This is ABC News Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting from Washington, Forrest Sawyer.